Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Let's Keep It a Buck podcast, the only podcast in which we do things differently every single episode. If you're new to this and you want to be true to this, make sure you hit that join button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, make sure you hit that like button, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Memorial Day is coming up, or it just passed, and we want to be the podcast of your choice at the cookout. I don't know who's playing podcast at cookouts these days. It's a new day, though. You know?
Can I ask, would you leave a cookout if they still start playing a random podcast? Not one you know, just like, it don't even necessarily got to be bad. It's just a podcast you've never heard of.
I'm going to give it a shot.
Okay.
Definitely going to give it a shot. Listen, shouts out to all the audio listeners. B-Souls, do you have a 5-star review for us?
Yes, I do. This is a 5-star review from C-Rod02. No lie, I started watching when y'all were on YouTube around the time of the 2021 season. Didn't think I would watch a podcast, even a basketball one, but this pod is both entertaining and educational, a great mix. I now watch it live/audio only when y'all on playback, and I am still enjoying it. P.S. Damo, there's nothing wrong with homeschool.
That's not true. There's actually something wrong with homeschool. Listen,
how
man,
long you been homeschooled? But yeah, go ahead.
Let's not beat around the bush. Because we're not Reggie. Let's get into the basketball. Let a fat old dude today. I let him beat me 2 times. But boy, was I cooking him. Listen, today's big 3. The big 3 topics. We're going to talk about the Cavs' downfall. You know, why I feel like Donovan Mitchell just literally quit on the Cavaliers. We're going to give you a little Doc, Rivers and JJ Redick, the doctor and the JJ. And of course, it's Women's History Month. We got to talk about the WNBA and why Caitlin Clark is a bust. I only give these rookies 1 game. We're going to start off with the stat of the day, though. Stat of the day. Al Horford joins LeBron James and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar as the only players that are 37-plus years old to record a 20-point, 15 rebound, 5 assist playoff game in NBA history.
One of them ones. Gotta be, right?
Say it again, my phone. Storage should cook me. Say it again.
Al Horford joins LeBron James and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar as the only players that are 37-plus years old to record a 20-point, 15 rebound, 5 assist playoff game in NBA history.
Yes.
Tatum gets bailed out more than Giannis, man. This is crazy.
Tatum's the 4th best player on this team.
It's insane, bro.
We should have maxed out Al Horford in Atlanta. I actually think he's had a better career outside of Atlanta than he's had in Atlanta. Is that true?
And he was with y'all for like
Success-wise, you could argue it, but
That's
given the role, it's debatable.
I feel like even peak as a basketball player.
I'm about to say, even post Atlanta, I feel like he's equally had the same role majority of the time. There were times, obviously, when he went to Philly because he just didn't want nobody else to have him to stop Embiid, which was insane strategy move, in my opinion. But outside of that, I feel like he was a starting caliber center until he became 40.
All right, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take out his rookie and second year. I'm going to just do his 3rd year up until he left Atlanta. I'm going to give you those stats. 16 points, a block, a steal, 3 assists, 9 boards, 75 from the free throw line, 54 from the field, and then 35 from the 3. All right.
So 16 and 9.
Yeah, basically. All right, now I'm about to give you post-Atlanta minus the last 2 years in Boston because he's been just a reduced player. 13 points, what is that, a steal, a block, 4 assists, 7 boards, 80% from the free throw line, 37% from 3, and then 48 from the field.
I don't think he was this versatile as a defender in Atlanta. And I don't think he was spacing out the floor the way he's doing it. No.
Yeah, he's not about to say he's probably more efficient and definitely more ranged, but obviously the production kind of dips after
He's an all-star, all-defensive second team, and 5th in DPOY in 2017 on Boston. How's that? Oh, my God. Atlanta just
Just fucking it up, man.
Okay.
Getting Tobias Harris, apparently, according to sources.
Who?
Sources.
Wait, who's getting Tobias Harris?
He got scared. He don't even know souls. He got scared.
Nah, he don't. Yeah, no, he don't know what the mock drafts are saying out there, man.
What the NBA team members are saying.
We're gonna get into Damo's draft analysis a little bit. I saw Kyle Horford, Landry Fields, and Grant Hill or somebody else looking at Ricochet.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
I don't know why everybody's looking at him that deep. I mean, Ricochet cool, but it's not
beating around the bush.
Not one of the ones. That's not one of the ones to hang your hat on. Ricochet is not one of the ones to hold your hat on. Like, I promise you.
And maybe they just had to spend the money, but nonetheless. All right, let's get into hot take or hot ass. We'll determine if the take is a hot take or hot ass. This is the Great White Hopes, Bill Simmons and Ryan Russillo, which, you're probably going to say that's hot ass already, on the draft.
This is, by all counts, one of the worst 3 drafts of the last 25 years.
This nigga's an idiot.
8 teams. One team said it's like the 7th or 8th pick, owning the first pick this year. I asked another team, I said, what kind of player you get in trade for the number 1 pick? And he said maybe the 4th or 5th starter on a decent team.
So like Lou Dort?
No one said Lou Dort in particular, but yes, like Derek White's a no. I had another guy say it's like starting the draft at 10th. Then I asked somebody else, I was like, give me comps. He was saying this is essentially like a Derek Lively or Tobias Harris being the number 1 pick in the draft.
That's Atlanta getting it. It's too bad the draft's not good because it would have made them an intriguing blow-it-up team. This is, by all counts.
Is this a hot take or is this some hot ass?
I'm going to go first. I just don't know enough about the prospects, to be honest with you, to say if it's a good or bad draft. So I'm on the same type of time I'm at every single year. I'm going to just wait till they get into the NBA.
I'm going to say hot ass on a similar level, but I'm going to go hot ass because at any point in time, they're prospects. So by the floor, you don't know what these talents could become. The idea that all 60 players that will be drafted will be so meaningless, so undervalued to the point where a draft doesn't matter and Derek White and Tobias Harris are of the stature doesn't make any sense. At this point, I would rather take that pick than gamble on. I'd rather gamble on that pick ending up being a younger Tobias Harris than taking today's Tobias Harris. So even by me not knowing shit about these prospects, I definitely think hot ass. But obviously, this is Damo and Omar's regime.
This is extremely hot ass, and then I would just ask Omar, if anybody, in the last 10 years, give me a good draft class. What a draft class you deem a good one?
Well, according to, and mind you, they don't know. Nobody knows. I know that's not what you're asking me specifically, but I don't think they know anymore. These are people who don't know anything about prospects. Like if it's especially if it's not in college. If it's not in college, they have no clue. Oh, OTE, oh, trash. The Croatian League, oh, that's trash. But they don't know anything about prospects unless they played at Duke, Kentucky, Kansas, or Duke, Kentucky, or Kansas. I don't know what to say.
Can you give me a year?
2018.
2018 is one of the greatest.
2018, and you know what's funny? Out of all the ones, this is the only one you can make the case that Bill Simmons made that the 10th pick, because it's Mikal Bridges, and that depends on how you feel about Mikal Bridges. That's the 10th pick in 2018. A year prior, well, sorry, not year prior. Okay, I done fucked up. Hold up. Boom. A year before, in 2017, you know what the 10th pick was? Zach Collins. In 2019, you know the 10th pick in 2019, Cam Reddish. We can continue this. In 2020, the 10th pick, Jalen Smith. In 2021, the 10th pick, Zaire Williams. I hate niggas that are bad at their jobs when it comes to draft analysis. I said it once. I will continue to say it. People look at me crazy when I say it. Stop listening to these people. Stop listening to sports heads. Stop listening to sports analysts. Please just look at these prospects yourselves and then evaluate the talent. Please.
So I have a theory. I wrote this down, so I'm trying to bring it back up to memory. What are their NBA skills? What's the direction? Hear me out. I think a problem with the way that people analyze stuff is that they don't know what they're looking at. And maybe it's because, we're making it harder based off of like the AAU system, the high school system, maybe some college system. But I think when Ryan Russillo and Bill Simmons were kids, especially because basketball was definitely more structured, it was like, okay, Bobby Hurley. Oh, that's a traditional point guard. He penetrates the defense. He passes. He can run a pick and roll. That is exactly what a prototypical point guard does. So then I can kind of project as to what he does in the NBA. I don't know what a point guard does in today's NBA. I'm trying to think of. I'm gonna just say Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman, okay, really active on the glass. He's a rebounder, active defender. I see his clear-cut direction and path in the NBA, and I can kind of map that to somebody else. JJ Redick, he's a shooter. I can map that to somebody that already exists in the NBA. But when you have an Alex Sarr or a Matis or a Ron Holland, how do you map that to something that's already existed besides a lazy comp like, oh yeah, Alex Sarr, it's Tyson Chandler, easy.
So you're saying prospects now are, if anything, like too versatile, and that's what's making it hard to evaluate them, because they can fit so many different roles in the NBA.
Probably, and there's not like an easily definable, easily lookoutable thing. And I know what you're saying, Damo. You might say like, well, there is a comp for Alex Sarr. We just kind of seen it. However,
okay, go ahead.
I don't think that that's how Bill Simmons and them look at it. They look at probably like their past and stuff like that. Tall, lanky kid. I've seen him dunk the ball twice. It's Tyson Chandler, man. It's the Kimbe.
I'm just saying, from what I know, this, like, to me, a bad draft was I think it was the Kenyon Martin draft in 2000. Like, it would have to be that bad for me to say.
Then
like,
I will ask you. But then I'll ask you for a 2000s draft, when you look back and you realize, I'm trying to think of the number off the top of my head because I literally just looked at it before. I know it's at least 10, but not even 10. It actually is more. It's probably like 15 guys had a 10-year career in that draft.
But that's what I'm saying. If that's the bar for what a bad draft, that's what I'm saying. If that's what it needs to be for me to say a draft is bad. I would say even in recent memory, the Anthony Bennett draft, that was in hindsight one of the bad drafts in recent memory. But if you look at the talent that came out of that draft, I think Giannis and Jokic came out of that draft, if I'm not mistaken. So I think a lot of these things are just going to be like, because of the fact that we don't know how these players are going to pan out, going into the draft, it seems like a weak draft, but I wouldn't be surprised if 5, 6, 7 years down the line, we're looking back at, oh shit, this motherfucker was the 20th overall pick in this draft, and he turned out to be a Donovan Mitchell-last player, or I don't know, the 31st pick ended up being a Jaden McDaniels type of player, and then we look back and look at the actual depth in this draft and say, yeah, a lot of solid dudes came from this draft. This was not a weak draft whatsoever.
For further context, one, I misspoke. Kenyon was in the 2000 or 99 draft, 1 and 2. 2, Jokic and Giannis weren't in the same one. 2013 just objectively is one of the weaker drafts in history. The best,
I think that's the one I was thinking of.
The best players easily being Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, CJ McCollum, Steven Adams, and Giannis Antetokounmpo. And Rudy Gobert, apologies, but Jokic weren't even in that class. So I would say a draft like that necessarily, but that's kind of where I'm getting to, where even if this current draft is kind of mirroring the 2013 class, the idea that like a first overall pick isn't necessarily still a first overall pick. I obviously understand there's a difference between a prospect like Victor being in the draft and then a prospect like, I don't know, who didn't have that much hype on him, like MCW. Well, he had hype, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I obviously understand the amount of hype when it takes to have that number 1 pick. However, the idea that like, yo, you might as well just punt on these draft picks. You can't even get a Derek White. You might get Tobias Harris. I think that's the dumbest thing possible, because the floor is that, because at floor you're getting a younger Tobias Harris with potential, and at peak you're getting a random name that you never knew was going to be the face of the league.
Let me just expand on the 2013 draft, because I know you said a couple names, but again, this is supposed to be one of the weaker drafts in recent memory. Giannis, CJ, Oladipo, Schroeder, Tim Hardaway Jr., Rudy Gobert, KCP, Otto Porter Jr., Kelly Olynyk, MCW, Trey Burke, Steven Adams, Alan Crabb, Ben McLemore, Shabazz. Like, there's a lot of really solid players that came from this draft. So,
but it's not even like exactly.
You were making faces at what I was saying. Did you disagree that they don't know what comps are? Like their easiest way of measuring what a good draft class is by making comps, and because
no, it wasn't that. I probably just misheard you at one of the points you're making where you were alluding to the fact that they have a skill that you can make a comp with. Like, okay, JJ Redick is a shooter, and we have a comp for that. I'm like, you can, if it's that simple, that's in this draft. You can. Alex Carr's a defender. You can find a current defender that's a tall, mobile guy. Reed Shepard, who's the best shooter in the draft. I mean, he's a shooter that can also play make. Like, I feel like you can make a comp. Like, people that can't make comps or are making dumb comps, and this is the same thing I've been saying for years now, they are just lazy or bad at their job. And I say that, and people be like, oh, well, they get paid to do it. Okay, people do bad jobs. They get paid to do bad jobs. You go and, you go and fucking order McDonald's and the nigga forgets your fries. He got paid to do the job. They ain't put your fucking fries in the bag. He sucks at his job. He constantly overcooks the nuggets or whatever it is. Like, niggas can be bad at their job. I don't know why that is such a wild thought, but it just kills me when niggas say this is a bad draft class, but then they can't tell you anything about the guys in the draft. Like, why do you think it's a bad draft class? Because you heard niggas say it? You're not even looking at the prospects. That's crazy.
Yeah, I think just to close out what I was saying there is like, yeah, Reed Shepard would be like an easy comp for them would be, white guy, of course, he shot the ball, he's a shooter. Whoa, he's playmaking. That's a little crazy. He can no longer be in the Kyle Korver, JJ Redick category. And then he goes out to the draft and has a 42-inch vertical. I don't know what his NBA skill is. That's not the mold I put him in. So now, where does he fit? Nowhere. He's trash. Next one. Hot take or hot ass. This is B. Souls' guy. Probably top 3 greatest Celtics of all time. Paul Pierce talking about hiring JJ Redick for the Lakers.
I seen his IG live. So
he paid for him too. I mean, hey. Everyone paid for him.
I ain't gonna lie. No cap.
Something he got to get hosed the way his fucking eyebrows are arched.
Now, I personally, I'll start it off. I do think that is not hot ass. I think it's a hot take. I actually kind of think it's a cold take. I think that they, put these people up here, posture them to be good head coaches and good head coaches, et cetera, the Steve Nashes of the world. I'm hearing Rondo's name start to creep in all these conversations. And again, I think this is just also adding on to what I was saying earlier. It's just easier to say these things. Hey, point guard, had to control the ball, know everybody's going to be on the court. He'll be a great coach. Hey, this white guy, he's playing the game off of IQ because he clearly doesn't have athleticism. He talks on a podcast. He sounds good. He'll be a good coach. But we've seen time and time again where this just has not worked out. Like, coaching is a job. It's a totally different job than playing. Let's try to keep that fairly separate, especially because it's the smartest era ever. There's supposed to be smart coaches out there. Let's not get another face because he was an ex-player and he's a buddy of somebody. Have him come in and coach and use him as the next scapegoat. Let's not do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree, man. Shout out to my guy Paul Pierce for a good take. Yes, he finally got one, man. I don't even think JJ isn't necessarily good enough to be a head coach in the NBA, but specifically for the Lakers job, I hate that fit for JJ Redick. I hate that fit for the Los Angeles Lakers because this is going to be another scenario where LeBron gets a head coach that's young, that's inexperienced. And then we're going to have these same conversations that we had this year, next season, when JJ Redick just isn't ready for the job, in my opinion. And you need someone with experience, dog. I don't know why. I'm looking at the
skip the line. I hate to cut you off, but why they keep letting the players skip the line?
What you mean? Oh, it's the Steve Nashes and the.
Why don't you Jason Kidd, a film guy, assistant, a coach or whatever, and then become a head coach. And I know somebody's going to say, well, they were players. They were doing all that. It's a totally different thing than sitting on the other side. Why do they let them keep skipping the line?
Yeah, it's probably just a connection thing. I know a guy who knows a guy, and JJ Redick knows LeBron. That's what everyone's been saying. But yeah, JJ Redick just, if he was like, let's say the upcoming head coach for the Charlotte Hornets or something like that, I would actually like that for him. Just give him the time to properly develop his skills as a head coach and get some reps in. But throwing him into the fire, being the coach of the Los Angeles Lakers, and I'm assuming they're trying to win a championship next year in year one, bro, that's a lot of pressure for a year one, not just head coach, but just a coach. I don't think JJ, I think he coaches middle school. I think I've heard on this podcast that right now he coaches middle school, so he doesn't have zero coaching experience. But obviously there's a fucking difference between coaching middle schoolers and the Los Angeles Lakers with LeBron and AD. So
I ain't gonna lie to you. I think it's hot ass. Darvin Ham is ass. So anybody, in my opinion, is an upgrade from Darvin Ham. I disagree with Bezos. I don't think we're going to be having the same conversations halfway through the season that we're having now. I don't think we're going to be having the same conversations by the end of next season that we're having now, because I was having these conversations about Ham in his first year before the trade deadline, and no one else was. Everyone else wanted to give it time. So if y'all were willing to give Darvin Ham time, y'all was willing to let's see how it worked with Darvin Ham, y'all were willing to wait it out, sit the fuck back, shut the fuck up, wait it out. Y'all waited out with Darvin Ham, and he was fucking horrible. Wait it out now. What's the difference? JJ Redick, in my opinion, way fucking smarter coach. I've loved the things I've heard come out of his mouth compared to the things that came out of Darvin Ham's mouth, and y'all sat back, y'all shut your mouths, and y'all waited to see how it worked. I don't want to hear the whole, it's going to be the same thing coming from any nigga that told me, hey, man, just wait and see how it is. Because I wasn't willing to wait, and we ended up at this point. I don't mind JJ. I said it before. I would have much rather had Budenholzer. If anything, I would want JJ as a lead assistant. We get a coach that had experience. But if it comes down to it, it's not like we haven't seen rookie coaches, guys that have very little experience, come in and be good coaches. You don't know a guy's a good coach until he's a coach. Like, at the end of the day, it is what it is.
Which rookie head coaches are you referring to?
First one off the top of my head, Steve Kerr.
Steve Kerr, okay.
And you can say, oh, well, he had the Warriors. It was his idea. It was his system that said, hey, we're going to move this player that's starting to the bench. We're going to bring Draymond up. So he already implemented things that he seen fit and thought would work and got them into a winning system. Now, whatever you think of Steve Kerr now is whatever, but he went on to win a championship as a rookie head coach. And even before that, David Blatt got to the finals as a rookie head coach. And LeBron hated him, but he still got there.
But David Blatt had coaching history, though, right?
That's fair. But again, I'm just saying, even then, I would still say a EuroLeague head coach is different than a NBA head coach, in my opinion.
I would say one, David Blatt has had years and years, if I'm not mistaken, of coaching experience. Like,
fair. If David Blatt's a bad point, then it's a bad point. My fault.
And then I would also say the thing about Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr had been an executive for pretty much a decade before he had stepped into the position of being a head coach. Not saying that I think that those are different jobs as well, but to be more on the ins and outside, the back end of basketball, taking them off the court. When did Jason Kidd got his job, his first head coaching job, a year after he retired or something like that? I know Steve Nash did. It wasn't. I don't think it was a real full year.
I know Jason Kidd got one relatively quick. That was was it the Bucks or the Nets? It was the Bucks, right? He got the first one was with the Bucks, correct?
Jason Kidd. Well, I know. Just real quick on Steve Nash, he was an assistant for the Warriors before he became a head coach.
Head coach. So he didn't have.
So even Steve Kerr didn't really jump the line for real.
Well, you said Steve Nash. I said Steve Kerr.
Oh yeah, I meant Steve Nash. Yeah, Steve Nash was an assistant for the Golden State Warriors, and then he became the coach of the Nets.
I thought it was like a. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say with Jason Kidd. I mean, he was with the Bucks, and even if people want to say, I mean, it didn't end up working. Motherfuckers still liked him. Giannis loved him. Like, motherfuckers still liked him as a coach. So it wasn't like he just left a bad taste in motherfuckers' mouths. People liked him on the Bucks, even as a rookie coach. So it's not like just rookie coaches just suck. You got to find out, in my opinion.
But even with Jason Kidd, I think that's like with JJ Redick. I think that's a more comfortable position for him, is because when he got Giannis, it wasn't we got to win a ring immediately. I think this situation is more similar to Steve Nash, but again, even Steve Nash had coaching experience where year one, you're going to get KD, you're going to get Kyrie, you're going to get Harden, make the shit work. Boom. And when he's not well equipped for it, the fuck happens? So
I think the only anomaly in this situation that would fit something along the lines of a JJ Redick would be like a Brad Stevens. I think Brad Stevens didn't have any prior coaching. I want to double check.
Was he
he was a coach in college. Really successful
college
in
coach, college coach, tripping. Yeah, so I'll say this. When it comes to coaching frame one out the gun with minimal experience, JJ Redick is literally an anomaly. I don't think anybody's here to debate that. However, what holds me to talking about is this really hot is a hot take or hot ass, I'm indecisive because I'm not gonna lie. A part of me wants to say, bro, I've seen it in multiple sports, but especially in the NBA, low key, these like new minds are low key gonna have to be the wave at some point in time. So for me, when I look at a guy like, and yes, these are all people that have sat on the sidelines. Again, nobody's disputing that JJ Redick probably should do some time in the scout room or assistant coach. When I look at an Ime Udoka, when I look at a Tyronn Lue, coaches who are just like uber successful off rip. There's another coach I just had in mind a while ago, but then there's older coaches back then. The way that Tibbs got his career started, things like that. I'd be just sitting here. I'm like, damn, over time, we're gonna have to stop running the carousel of coaches that get fired and picking up. I see a lot of people want Vogel back, and don't get me wrong, if Vogel got back, I'm not gonna be pissed off, not at all. But I do think there's cause to pause, and the Lakers situation is delicate enough to where you done got cooked by the same team twice. You made the conference finals last year, and the only reason you didn't go far this year is because you ran into the same team that beat your ass last year. So you clearly have a hindering issue. If you think that hindering issue is strictly the coach versus the rosters you put together, I don't think it's the worst thing to get a new mind. Now, should that mind be JJ Redick specifically, we can have a whole different conversation. But I again, I concede that JJ Redick zero coaching experience is kind of crazy. Middle school does not count to me. I appreciate it being brought up. No, I could coach an elementary school team right now if I knew a guy. So like, what are we doing? But in terms of coaching the Los Angeles Lakers, and sorry, I'm obviously not feeling well, but I think I'm open-minded. Like, pause if needed, but I'm open-minded on who we bring in there because it's not one of these things where we need to have a veteran, and it's not one of these things where we 100% need like new life or anything like that. It's who do you think is the best basketball mind to draw up plays, like literally.
If this is a setup for like a post LeBron, if this is the setup for, all right, let's start thinking about what the Lakers look like after LeBron retires. I don't think it's as bad as I'm making that out to be now. But if this is on some, all right, we're maxing out the LeBron AD era for a couple more years. JJ Redick's our guy. That's where I just completely disagree. But
I would just say that I've been adamant. I'm done with LeBron, so I don't want LeBron to come back. I've said that a couple of times. So again, JJ would not be my first recommendation. There's probably a couple coaches I could think of I would want before JJ, but I'm not going to be mad at a JJ Redick. Because I think he's a good basketball mind, and I'm never going to be mad at somebody who is pro analytics in a pro analytics game coming to coach. And when we look around the league, a lot of these other teams that are starting to turn the wheel, turn the corner, change the trajectory of what their franchises are, they have guys who are basketball minds that are analytical guys. Mark Daigneault, to my belief, he's an analytical guy. I don't know what his experience was before coaching the Thunder, but he's an analytics guy. He's an analytical guy. He's a stat guy.
I'm glad you brought it up, Damo, because literally that was the first person I thought of when I had Googled this person. Is a Thunder coach. Holy Cross coach since 2007 to 2010.
Yes, sir.
Assistant coach at Florida. Then was at the Oklahoma City Blue from 2014 to 2019, assistant on the Thunder in 2016, assistant on the Thunder from 2019 to 2020, and then 2020 to present, he has been the Oklahoma City Thunder coach.
So he has experience.
And mind you, this goes back to even what I was saying, and I do want to just quickly put there, Steve Nash didn't have coaching experience. He was a player development consultant.
Oh, is he a shooting coach type shit?
Yeah, okay. Type shit. This is another thing. I said this, and I'll go back to spinning the block. The Lakers have a G League team. When are we going to start utilizing these platforms to do actual fucking things? Are we developing players? Are we developing coaches? Like these could be pipelines right here, but the NBA franchises, teams, they just don't take any of this stuff seriously. But y'all haven't been serious since Dr. Bus died. Let's continue. Last one from Hot Take or Hot Ass. We have Amick, who is a writer, says from the New York Times, I believe, says the Nuggets look cooked after game 2, so they headed to a steakhouse in Minneapolis to get their heads and hearts right. But Aaron Gordon couldn't make it. There was some family stuff going on at home. He could not make it. They won 3 straight games since then, and Gordon has not been allowed back to dinner. I guess the hot take or hot ass would be, do y'all believe in superstitions? I want to know.
Superstitions, sports superstitions.
Any superstition. Are you superstitious at all?
I am superstitious, so.
I'm not.
In general, no, but I'll play into them every now and then. So, like, obviously, when we won the game, the one time I didn't watch, I stopped watching the Lakers-Nuggets series as the craziest 1-1. I wouldn't invite that nigga to dinner either. I ain't gonna lie. Like, we was down to 0-2. Shit, stay your ass away. But my superstitions in general, nah, not really. I just play into it every now and then, especially when it's like some unexplicable shit, then fuck it. But for the most part, no.
Let's say y'all watching a game with your friends, like, and let's just say the Lakers were cooking with, like, you specifically sitting at that spot on the couch. Are you the type of okay?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm there we go.
That's too much.
Yes. Bro, I crashed out
right there, type shit.
Gang, I crashed out the moment I popped in the playback when niggas was watching the Lakers game.
Yeah.
And when I popped in is when Darvaham called that dumbass coaching challenge. And then I end up leaving, and then we end up losing. I crashed the fuck out. I'm like, bro, I'm the reason we lost. Why did I turn the game back on? I should have just stayed in solidarity with Sage and not watch. We would have had a chance. Hand went the handball. I'm very superstitious. Like when I played, same pair of high school gym shorts under my regular playing shorts in AAU and high school. Every time I played, I'm very superstitious. Hey, never had a serious injury, like broken bones, some shit like that. I'm very superstitious. So I would say, hey man, hot take.
I used to wear the Jeff Teague underneath the jersey, so maybe I am more superstitious than I think. I don't know.
I'd say like 20%.
I feel like I used to be. I don't know what I'm superstitious about now.
Not anymore. I'll say I'm more consistent as opposed to superstitious. I don't think anything bad is gonna happen, but like, I don't know, if I touch something, I might go back to touch it. Like it's a small bit. I don't want to claim OCD, but like if I touch something one time and I'm like, let me go back and just touch that real quick one more time. That didn't feel good.
Do you split poles? Like if we're walking, we just split a pole.
Nah. Splitting a pole is kind of crazy.
Definitely kind of crazy. So yeah, superstitious game.
No, I'm not giving a fuck.
So no, we're walking. And say we split the pole, you gonna go back and go around? Because I'm that superstitious.
That's too much.
Okay, see, I'm too much. I'm going back and going around the pole.
You got places to be. No.
Hey, and we will get there. I promise you we'll get there.
Yo. All right, Bezos, since you don't have one. Hot take of the week, buddy.
Hot take of the week. I don't got one, bro. I can't lie. I'm gonna go last. Let me get another shot. Going last, man.
Damo, hot take of the week.
Shit, you know I got one, twin. Hold on now. Boom. Hey, because this shit bopped earlier. You know what I'm about to talk about. Listen, man. My hot take.
Damn. Ubisoft.
Wait. Did I cut out? Hello?
Yeah, Ubisoft and what you're talking about them.
Yeah, that's crazy. Everybody hate niggas. Everybody wants to be a nigga, so it's time to be a nigga. Is my hot take. Ubisoft came out and they said, new game is going to be featuring our guy, my guy, Souls' guy, Yasuke. Not Souls' guy. That's crazy. Yasuke. The first black samurai in Japan. Real figure in Japanese history, by the way, and a Japanese female protagonist. The internet proceeds to go crazy, as they always do, to find something to be mad at and go wild. Upset about it. This is the first tweet upset about it. I got to be careful because I don't know what the fuck is gonna be under here. Well, that's my reply. This is what I said
10K.
in the reply.
Damn.
Yeah. In the replies, all I see, clan rally, because people are going berserk. People are going berserk down there, going wild. Can't say all the things that people have been saying, but yeah. Earlier today, these souls popped up in the space. Had a little run in with whoa. Too many clicks. Don't want nothing popping up. Earlier today, had a couple of different communities of the alphabet kind, putting it out there how it's cultural appropriation, putting it out there how it's historical, it's not historically accurate, putting out there that, hey, first chance they get to, show good, strong Japanese representation in a video game, and they go with a black man? Crazy. No one wants to do that. Insane. They hate black people. They hate niggas. Everybody hates niggas.
That's not the conversation we had earlier, but all right.
That's the conversation we're having now. They hate niggas. People hate niggas. They always hate niggas. They want to be a nigga till it's time to be a nigga. Because in this case, when it's time to be that nigga Yasuke, they got a problem. That's my hot take.
All right. Sage.
I'm not gonna lie, I've been the pioneer, not really pioneer, but been the guy that's been screaming from the bottom of his lungs that you guys don't like basketball, you don't like the NBA. I want to micro it down even further to say that you guys don't like any player ever. Really any player that's good at basketball. I've already seen it with Luka Doncic. We're going to see it with SGA really soon. I'm already seeing the dominoes fall with Anthony Edwards. I've already seen it with Ja Morant. You guys literally do the same shit every year. You guys love to see young talent, build up young talent, hype up young talent, maybe overrate them a wee bit, and then slowly but surely chomp at the bit. Now, I know for the people that follow me on Twitter at TSO_Sage, y'all are going to think I'm dragging the tweet that I'm referring to with Anthony Edwards in regards to him having, 2 All-Stars, 6 Man of the Year, DPOY, whatever shit was, essentially saying he has help. I'm just saying that's the first domino.
Yep.
But and I'm not saying that guy specifically had malicious intent towards Anthony Edwards. He probably is just telling somebody, all right, no help is crazy, gang. But that's just the first domino of the situation. All that's going to happen in 2 to 3 years, considering that team really has no reason to split apart, is going to be, okay, he has a lot of help, blah, blah, blah. I'm telling you, I see that shit coming from a mile away. Luka Doncic is already, mind you, he's younger than SGA. He's already getting so when are you going to win a championship, LOL type shit. Mind you, we know he's on 1 foot and niggas is on his ass. Then weirdly enough, you guys will then have your player that once you slander them enough, you try to run it back and apologize for them, because unironically, we're talking about Luka, we're talking about SGA. Kyrie hasn't been that good this series, and I just feel like it's because you guys feel like assholes for what you've done in his career that y'all don't want to speak on that. So overall, I think that NBA fans are the most dishonest fan base. I've said that y'all are like the worst one in my opinion. I am an NBA fan, so hey, I know ball twin, but hey, that's my hot take, and I'm dying by it, bro. Y'all are assholes, bro.
Real quick, Omar. Since Souls didn't have one, can I get another one? It'll be real quick.
Okay, I don't know why you asking me like this. Go ahead.
Boom. So nice, I can do it twice. Second hot take of the day. Friend of the show, friend of the pod. Honestly, one of my best friends on the platform, on YouTube in general. Lame ass Chuck DF. Oh, here we go. I'm with Sage, man. A lot of y'all claim y'all like basketball. Y'all really don't. A lot of y'all are honestly just gay. Y'all like men who play basketball. Or y'all like to cosplay or role play as men who play basketball. On top of that, you like to buy views, so it makes it seem like a lot of people like to watch you cosplay and role play as people that play as guys that play basketball. Angel Reese, first in NBA Sentinel, obviously. Sentinel, however you say it. Troll take, obviously. Troll thing. She gets her first dunk. It's a layup. Shout out Angel Reese. Had a cool little game. People were not talking about her game enough. Had a common little, WNBA debut. Cool little layup. Boom. Obviously, Mr. Zen user, Mr. Buy My Views for Twitch, Chalk, formerly DF, you know, genuinely don't know how people watch this because people actually like basketball, Chalk, and they don't like you. That's it. That's the take. That's all. I just want to get that off. Fuck you.
Damn. Someone send that to him. Someone send that to him.
Please send that to him. Send it to him.
I got my hot take.
There's a tweet underneath of that of him hyping up Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark specifically, but go ahead, B-Sauce.
This guy.
Putting a pin on it,
Don't
man.
send that part.
Nikola Jokic is the greatest offensive player ever. Yep, I said it.
Okay, so you don't have a hot take. All right.
There's an argument for it. No, there's argument for it.
Yeah, you don't have a hot take.
Damn, so hot. They don't even think it's real.
The engagement farming is crazy.
Nah, all right. Y'all don't think so? Y'all don't think you got an argument?
Let the thing run. Let it just ring
It
out.
wasn't a hot take, gang. It wasn't a hot take.
It wasn't a hot take that he's the greatest offensive weapon ever?
So just let this ring out.
You said Tatum like Jack, man.
Yeah, just
Tatum, you'd have had some.
Just let this ring off. Man. Can't even believe you just did that. All right. Shouts out to the state of Indiana. This isn't my actual hot take, but this is
fuck y'all, man.
Just...
No, that's crazy. Damn, you dropping that iceberg and taking this.
I thought that was the one, boy. He just this is gonna get the argument for real.
Man, at me
don't argue that.
Yo, this is the second
got
time. Yo, this is like the second time in the last 2 weeks you done did that. You done had a take. No one says nothing.
Man, fuck y'all, bro. Cold ass.
You're not gonna argue it? You're not gonna say nothing? Like, nah, gang, we're not. We're not gonna say
Why? Damn, so unarguable. They don't even want the smoke.
Unarguable. Oh, I'm about to keep going.
Take a lap. Take a lap.
Nigga.
Shout out to the great state of Indiana. Y'all know I was arguing this up and down. This isn't my hot take, but Indiana judge ruled that tacos and burritos are Mexican-style sandwiches. I won again, so congratulations to me. That is not my hot take, though. I just needed that to be known.
Who did you win against? How did
you
argue?
Specifically you, Damo.
You argue pizzas. It was pizza, not
Every
fucking
food is a sandwich. Every food is a
and
sandwich.
that's fine, but we argue
A
pizza
rice bowl's a
specifically.
sandwich.
Here you go. Ali, you live in Indiana? I didn't know you was an Indianimal. Okay, it makes sense. And B fan. You know, it doesn't matter. Donovan Mitchell quit on the Cleveland Cavaliers, and I am so over this player empower movement.
Fuck them.
Donovan Mitchell quit on the Cleveland Cavaliers, and I am so tired of the player empower movement. This was probably like him being in the East, right? They faced the Celtics, decently good team. I don't think they couldn't not compete with the Celtics, at least to make it competitive. This is the best team Donovan Mitchell's been on. This is the best team Donovan Mitchell's been on.
Hey, gang, just say you didn't watch them 2 games he played. Just say you didn't watch. Just say you didn't watch the series until he quit.
Listen. Because I know now. Listen, I know on the games they was getting smacked up. Now, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about on paper going into the series.
This is the best team Donovan Mitchell's been on?
I think so. And I know niggas were saying Utah.
That's the hot take right there.
Yeah, it's not gonna die by. I'm not gonna die by.
One Rudy, and I'm talking about team as a whole. Think everybody healthy. All right, one Rudy, Mike Conley, Joe Jingles. I don't know, but Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, Darius Garland, Okoro, and I'm gonna fill in the rest of the names.
Stop.
The crew.
I'm about to say, after you got Mobley, I'm like, let's see if he's on lying.
This team next been talking about the Knicks, JB, Randall, and them dogs. Like, all right, dog, hit one more player. Do it.
Yeah, Donovan Mitchell's on a team where the team was top 3 in offense and defense. Gary. I don't know.
Okoro. No, Karis LeVert. Karis LeVert has some little. He has some.
There you go. Don't be chat, man. Don't be chat.
But ultimately, like,
Karis was scored. Come on.
I gotta go with the 21.
But long story less long. Forget the team. He bitched at the end of this. It was never gonna stay. He was never. And I know people were like, "Oh yeah, we knew he was never gonna stay." I didn't think he would go out like that. Calf strained my ass. Donovan Mitchell quit on that team.
Okay.
Tear it up. Tear it up if you really about it. Tear it up.
Just let me know when you're done.
Nah, he done. We done with the Donovan Mitchell.
I thought you didn't want players to play through injuries.
He's not injured, so he's not.
How do you know? You know his calf?
I seen Darius Garland score a layup. You know what Donovan Mitchell did? He said, "Yeah, yeah." What kind of injury is that?
Casual chat.
All right, man. Listen, all I'm gonna say is this: Omar.
Yes, I know his path.
Any other situation, I would be 100% on your side.
Here he goes.
Casual, crazy. I would 100% be on your side, gang. Yo, that's whack as fuck. Quitting on your team is insane. I watched Donovan Mitchell go out there and get jumped by the Celtics.
I'm about to say, gang.
Darius Garland was not the Darius Garland yesterday, dog.
I promise you, that nigga went out there and Omar, it was the Celtics versus Donovan and friends. I'm not gonna lie to you. If I'm already disgruntled, if I'm already not liking my situation, and we get through one series on the back of me being heroic.
I was about to say it was the Magic versus Donovan.
Yeah, I already did this once, and now I go out here and I'm getting doubled, tripled, and I still have to put out 40 just for us to lose by 10. I watched LeBron quit on this team. I watched LeBron quit. Hey, Donovan Mitchell, he was there in 2018 when LeBron quit on the Cavs. I'm not, bro. Fuck it. I'm out. And what happened when he sat? You know who else sat? You ain't talking about it. Jared Allen sat his big afro ass down too. Who else sat? 2 more niggas sat with him. So I get it. You can't sit there and tell me, oh yeah, Donovan Mitchell's such a hoe. Hey, it's a team full of hoes because 2 niggas followed his ass to the bench. This is crazy.
No, and mind you. So we're gonna talk about it because that's a part of my whole this is player empowerment thing. But I'm gonna tell you this right now.
That's what I thought.
If y'all gonna player empower, if y'all gonna pick and choose, then y'all want to play, then let me know before I get on PrizePicks.
Oh wow!
Before they sponsor this pod, let me know so I can make the right decisions. B'Sos, take it away.
Shout out to the sponsors of this video, PrizePicks, our personal favorite way to play daily fantasy sports. There it is right there. Boom. And we will show y'all how to make a lineup on PrizePicks. Omar, please share your screen.
All right. Now, y'all know we check how I've been doing every time we come back to this. Listen, man, it hasn't been going so good. This was that one game where SGA had 30 and didn't attempt a 3-pointer at all. Anthony Edwards has been stinking the bed, and we'll get to that in a minute.
Oh, this is the one we did on stream. Damn, we was confident about this one, man.
I keep going back to these. So on stream, I am not looking too hot, but nonetheless, got a little bit of confidence in me. We're gonna go here, go to NBA. I'm going to go with somebody that has to show up in order for them to win the game. I got some dollars for Isaiah Hartenstein, man. I got it for the points. I'm also going to go with where is Tyrese? I have a feeling about
showing up.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's going to be a good night. I think it's going to be a good night for Mr. Halliburton. 17.5, man. I'm going to keep the calm ones. I already know what y'all are going to say. The Green Goblins. Okay. And I am going to leave it just like that. Okay. I have no faith in nobody else. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go ahead, keep it at that 20, and I'm going to go ahead and hit submit. Okay.
And there you go. That is how you make a lineup on PrizePicks. And thanks to PrizePicks, if you guys use code LKIAB, you guys can get a 100% deposit match up to $100. Links to everything will be in the description down below, and hopefully you guys can make some money as well, man, because there's a lot of money to be made out there if you really know ball. So,
I'll tell you something. You put money on somebody to do something, and they don't even attempt the one thing. Blew my whole night. Damo, you muted.
and you blew my whole night because now the fact that you put money on Reese means he's not about to perform. So there's nothing done. I was wanting this nigga to pick Jalen Brunson so he underperform, so these niggas will win. Fuck.
It's only 17 and a half.
If you don't superstitious, man, it's cool, bro. It's cool.
I am superstitious. This nigga, he is in the whole 3 sheets. I'm like, bro, he's the sign. Yo, take Brunson. I'm over there. No, take Brunson. Get Brunson. He's just, yeah, I'm going Greece and Hartenstein. Fuck. No.
iHeartRadio.
What makes you say he quit on the Cavs? I'm still kind of confused.
Yeah, so we're gonna get into it now. Maybe it is a quittable team, but we got to wrap up the series anyway. Celtics finished them pretty handy-manily. But what's coming out of the camp is interesting. And let me say this: I don't like this new trend. I don't like the trend of the season ending, your series ending, or whatever the case may be, and then all of a sudden reports just come in flowing. I do not like that. It really makes it feel like it's not a team atmosphere. It's very telling about the teams that it does come out of. Y'all really don't like each other for real, but you know, I just don't like it. First and foremost, Jared Allen also didn't play. Some members of the Cavs were frustrated with Jared Allen after he refused an injection to try to numb the pain and play through his rib injury.
Did he quit on the team?
Is a crazy conversation to have. I'll say this: I don't think Jared Allen quit on the team, especially if they're noting that this is so painful enough that he needs an injection to play through it. They're not saying that about Donovan Mitchell's calf.
I guess I'll just chime in here. Donovan Mitchell quitting on this Cavs team, to me, and maybe that's because he's in my top 5 faves. Crazy conversation. Yeah, he one of my top 5 favorite players. I'm dead. I'm dead. I like Donovan Mitchell. Damn, I can't like Donovan.
He shouldn't go in the league, Omar. Yes, it's possible he could be one of your favorite players.
Dog.
I just didn't.
He has a pretty good game. I don't know. Like, it's not boring.
He cool. Anyway, for me, Don, obviously against the Orlando Magic. I'm sorry I interrupted Damo when I said earlier, but Damo was talking about 5v1 in Boston. In my opinion, it was even against Orlando. He just actually solo squatted. Darius Garland is making me look wrong about him every year I assess him, because recently I've joined the Darius Garland hype train that you guys begged me to join. Talking about smoothest game, yada yada yada. I chalked up last season as being it is what it is, and then this season now I'm like, I kind of want to hop off the train, but then surely enough, next season he'll probably start cooking. So I'm just gonna stop speaking on his game, or I'm just gonna forever speak negatively. So he's a bucket. Besides the point, when I look at this Cavs roster, even when you were and you backed off of it necessarily, when I didn't back off it, but you like didn't really care about it. When you were talking about this Cavs roster being the best roster he's had on his team, literally it was kind of funny because Jared Allen didn't even play in Boston. And then once we get past, once we go past Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, and Darius Garland, it's all respect to all the Cavs players. It's not that good of a roster. So at that point, when he's already solo squatting the team, if he's injured, I'm always pro dog. He hurt. I'm not going to call you a liar. The Jared Allen shit is nasty. Side note, dog, I tell my Mahomes needle jokes all the time, but that's not a norm, dog. Like, that's not cool. So I don't see in any way, shape, or form how he quit. If anything, he's the sole reason they got there. And yes, I'm even talking about a single game against Boston.
You triggered my trap card.
I don't care. Pot agreed.
Yeah.
Draw 2 cards.
Triggered my trap card.
It's another trap card. I have this article from the one and only Shams Charanian. This is about the Cavaliers. Multiple league sources have said for months that Mitchell did not have a great confidence in Bickerstaff, the coach, and he was not alone. Several players questioned Bickerstaff's strategy, game management, practice habits, and accountability measures privately and publicly throughout the season.
So it's East Devin Booker. Okay, but
after the game, Cavs president Kobe Altman walked in the coach's office and admonished head coach JB Bickerstaff in front of his entire staff for playing Mitchell such heavy minutes. What are we doing? Multiple sources told the Athletic. Descriptions of the incident spread across the organization, including the locker room. Altman got at JB, one player said of the incident. The immediate aftermath of that night was confusing. For instance, Altman was unaware at the time he was scolding Bickerstaff that the coach had asked Mitchell if he wanted to come out, according to the league sources, and Mitchell declined. Yet Mitchell was absent from the court for Cleveland's next 4 games due to what the team called a non-Rona illness. There were also questions of fit on the roster to work through, such as whether Allen and Mobley, 2 non-shooting bigs, can coexist in the same starting unit, and whether Garland can thrive playing alongside Mitchell as 2 smaller guards who need the ball. Furthermore, rival executives believe the Cavs will have to seriously evaluate the fit of Mitchell and Garland, and ultimately may have to choose one or the other. All this tells me, one, Darius Garland, you're kind of screwed, gang. You're kind of screwed. But 2, are we building teams or are we building bitches? What are we doing? Oh my God! What is Kobe Altman doing? Nigga sitting there yelling at him, and JB Bickerstaff sitting like this. He said he wanted to stay in. What are we doing, bro?
I do think JB Bickerstaff is getting scapegoated, man. Another scapegoat in the league, man. He gets fired, so.
I don't think. Well, yeah, he's in the process of it now. I think he's getting scapegoated for the wrong reasons, in the sense of it's actually not even a players thing. I know the subject is Donovan Mitchell. I think the subject and where that article stood out to me was the roster, and therefore the front office. We talked about it, and I know we haven't dribbled. I know that we haven't played in the NBA, so how could we possibly know anything? But we all sat here, and while we were high on the potential of this team in terms of the immediate factor of it, we all said, yo, the 2 small guards and 2 non-scoring bigs, they ain't gonna be nothing right now. Now, top 5 young core, cool. Top 10 young core, cool. But in terms of winning a championship now, yeah, they'll be pretty good second round type team. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. Hell, I'll take it a step further.
Damn.
I'll take it a step further, and I play my Flip Frog card, which if you guys don't watch Yu-Gi-Oh, you know, boy. If you don't, you don't. I'm playing Flip Frog. Because I'll say this, you fool. I've always said that the Cavs were dysfunctional. Hell, if you go back on a recent pod, I said that the Cavaliers will probably lose to the Magic in 6 because they're ultimately this team that just don't fit together, don't even look like they like each other. And I think Orlando can capitalize off that despite being the younger team. So I already kind of knew this, gang. I ain't going to lie. It's just, if this confirms it, obviously a nigga like Donovan Mitchell will just say it's cap, and maybe it actually is. You know how the shit goes. But yeah, I wasn't too high on this team this season. I had them as a first round exit. They got an extra game on the Magic, let alone beat them. And Donovan Mitchell just outplayed kind of what I thought he could do, because I thought he had to hit some threes. Apparently he didn't to beat them.
I think they asked and needed Evan Mobley and Darius Garland to develop way quicker than the time that they needed. Because even from what I saw the series, I think Evan Mobley's still a really good building block for the Cavs. They just, in the combination with him and Jared Allen, they don't work together, dog.
Well, let me say this too, and mind you, that they, in the same article, they talk about how the agent for Evan Mobley urged the Cavs not to draft him, and they still draft him, and apparently it remains healthy. But another one of these quotes is, the second guessing of Bickerstaff started there. This is about a practice. Multiple veterans in the Cavs locker room grew frustrated with Bickerstaff for treating the Cavs as a young team with much to learn instead of as a team ready to contend. They were also less than enthused by the Cavs' offense last spring and into the first part of the season. Mitchell was among them. Players would leave practices and morning shoot-arounds wondering aloud, why did we even do that? What did we accomplish? So perplexed by the lack of structure and intensity in the workouts. To me, that sounds like they gave y'all, and this is why coaches need to have more platforms, and we need more vets in the league. Shut the hell up, get in the gym, get some work in, figure out how y'all are going to play together, get some continuity, all this stuff. You don't always need somebody to lead you, because if y'all don't have this time, y'all ain't going to do nothing, and that's been proven. Get in the gym and work on your game. I'm really tired of players just bitching. They're finding a reason to bitch and moan. When's the last time y'all heard a coach or player stand up for a coach?
Now, where I will go,
My guys.
and I think it's a separate conversation, but yeah, I'm definitely on the mindset of I don't want to sound like, massa, no shit. I think sometimes this, like the player empowerment movement, sometimes gets cringe in the sense of like, dog, it's never their fault. Or like, dog, they get to do other people's jobs, like directly. Hell, they just get to aura off a head coach when the head coach, we all know it wasn't really his fucking fault. But just because a specific player didn't fit with the team and that specific player has, quote, aura, now that nigga's gone. So I'm 100% with you on that. Even if there is recent examples of players defending head coaches, it's not plentiful. It doesn't feel that way.
I would just say, genuinely, looking at the Cavs and how this whole thing is unfolded, this is the reason why people are telling the Spurs to take time on Wemby. Don't rush the process of Wemby. This Cavs team, the moment they traded for Donovan Mitchell is when it was like, you're speeding up the timeline. And anybody will tell you Donovan Mitchell being there is hindering the development of Darius Garland on the offense. It's taking the ball out of his hand. It's hindering the development of Evan Mobley because he's not required to develop certain offensive skills because Donovan Mitchell is such an offensive hub. This is why you don't rush it. This is why you just let it happen. This is why people are – this is why Sage, when we're having that conversation about what should the Thunder do with these picks, I get it. Hey, you have a bundle of picks. Hey, trade them. Don't get stagnant. But at the same time, don't just start doing shit because you feel like, hey, we got to do shit because, hey, we're right there. Let the shit happen.
Yeah, we agreed on no Paul George, no.
Yeah. But that's another reason why I'm like, yo, don't just rush it for just anybody. It has to make sense. Some niggas you just have to go and pay for or whatever it is, but don't just rush the process because you will fuck it up. Donovan Mitchell was a guy who came into a situation in Utah. He was drafted there. It was already a playoff team, so it wasn't like Donovan Mitchell was never had to just be on a bad team that built into a good team. So Donovan Mitchell, in my opinion, never had a display of him being a good locker room leader, a locker room guy. He was an older player who got drafted on a playoff team after Gordon Hayward left, and they proceeded to be a playoff team, and they just steady were a first, second round team until he ended up leaving. He left disgruntled. He left with beef and issues with teammates. He left in a dirty way. Gets on the Cavaliers, and it's more of the same. He just turned this team into the Eastern Conference fucking Jazz. This is the Cleveland Jazz. That's genuinely what this is.
But better.
But better. Yeah, obviously I would say a better team. I think it's the better team. But same outcome. And it's about to be the same exit. So I would think teams will have to look around and think what's worth it. Like, is that worth it for your bundle of young guys? Because had they waited, let the process build, they probably would have had a better situation, probably had a better team, probably had a better unit of chemistry and everything like that, and we wouldn't be here. Look at the Suns. The Suns literally got to the goddamn finals, and because they wanted to rush it, traded away everything.
Brought in KD.
Just to get KD and turn into the Western Conference Nets. Like, I don't like it, this shit is it's literally a repeated cycle, and no one's noticing it. And it's very sad.
No,
Also, in terms of it being a player empowerment league, I mean, hey man, I was in there with you watching Winning Time. I've said this plenty of times. I know it's probably like made up how it was dramatized, how shit was. Them niggas was divas then too. Like, hey, players have always been divas. Players always hated coaches and had ulterior motives. The differences are these teams have front offices who stand up and put them in check. They have that GM, that front office guy that puts them in check. That's what separates a place like Miami from a lot of these other teams. You don't hear this shit coming out of Miami. Why? Because if Jimmy Butler is talking about, hey man, we gonna be straight, Pat Riley is there to say, shut up, you weren't playing. Not a lot of GMs are doing that, and that's the issue. But yeah, go ahead.
Or Brad Stevens. Yeah.
I agree. I agree with what you're saying. I'm not saying there hasn't ever been divas, but I do think that there's some veteran presences that are telling them, yo, shut up, gang. Shut up. I don't know what's going on with you, but yo, we're gonna lose if you keep doing this. It's not gonna end up well if you keep doing this. And I agree with you, what you said. Donovan Mitchell is the prime example of what the hell is going on with all these other teams in the league, all these other players in the league. You get one guy, now you feel like you need to speed up your young guy process, and then you mess up the development of your young guy process while simultaneously not capitalizing on your old guy process because your old guy process isn't really even that great. So we'll see younger teams that had a chance to develop together for a long time. The Thunder, the Timberwolves minus Mike Conley and Ruby. Thunder. I said the Thunder already, didn't I? I meant to say the Mavericks. Some of these guys, the Celtics, some of these guys that get to grow up together, have some continuity, they'll favor better. But some of these guys that think that 36-year-old Kevin Durant is the solution, that 48-year-old Paul George is the solution, that slapping James Harden on the team is the solution, they will perpetually be in this cycle. I do want to ask y'all real quick before we move off of these guys. 2 questions. Make answers quick. One, what did the Cavs do, especially with their backcourt situation? And then 2, did you see anything from the Celtics that was like, oh yeah, I am convinced they're dominant now? They are just like, I'm really impressed with what happened.
We've been talking about it all season long. We talked about Brandon Ingram and then don't sleep on Donovan Mitchell. Now, I mean, everybody knows Donovan Mitchell might get traded. One of the guards got to go. For sure. You can maybe convince me that Darius Garland is the guard to go because, hey, maybe you're just not high on him like you were. But one of the guards got to go for certain. I'm not saying blow it up, but I would honestly say one of the bigs and one of the guards have to go. But there's no way you run it back. No way, shape, or form. You got lucky you made it there. As far as the Boston Celtics, I'm consistent. Whether it's a hate take or a factual take, whatever. I'm not going as far as to if they win a ring, it doesn't count. That's ridiculously corny. But I don't think they played anybody. So at this point, I still have the mindset that I want to see them face a really, really competitive team.
Which is a luxury, by the way. Like that's
I'm about to say they earned that. Yeah, I'm not
a testament to how good they played in the regular season. I just want
to. Going to the Cavs, I'm trading Donovan Mitchell. I want to see a team built around Darius Garland and Evan Mobley. Do I think Darius Garland is a number one on a playoff championship team? I personally don't think so. So I think their next job is trying to find out who that next guy is to pair with DG and Evan Mobley. And maybe it just turns into Evan Mobley. Who knows? Maybe Evan Mobley just needs a season where he gets a lot of touches and he develops his offensive game properly. Because I was very impressed with Evan Mobley in the series. I can't lie. Was he consistent? No. But he showed a lot of promise to me on the defensive end as well. So yeah, I'm building around Darius Garland and Evan Mobley. I'm doing it right this time. It is still early enough to, like how old are they? They're still under 25, right?
Yeah, they might be pushed.
Darius Garland and Evan Mobley, they're still under 25.
Yeah, they should be.
Yeah, so this is what I talk about with the Spurs and Vic rebuild a couple months back or a couple weeks back was, even if you fuck up in these first 3-4 years, these motherfuckers are coming in so young, they're still going to be 21, 22, 4 years into the league. So I don't think it's time to trade Darius Garland or Evan Mobley. I would try to get rid of Jared Allen as well. Just start off and build around those two properly, Evan Mobley at the 5 as well. And then for the Celtics, they're just taking care of business. I think I haven't seen anything outstanding like that. Oh my God, they're so God level type shit, but they've been taking care of business, blowing out teams in the first 2 rounds in 5 games, not playing with their food. Aside from one loss every single round, but that's it.
For me, I would say honestly, if I'm the Cavs, I'm trading Garland and Jared Allen. I would keep Donovan Mitchell personally. If you're trying to compete at the high, like if you want the highest chance to compete, I'm keeping Donovan Mitchell over Darius Garland. I think he's the better guard. As obviously the better guard. Yeah. The timeline in terms of age, he's not too far off. I mean, he's 27 now. He's in his prime. He's a prime player. This obviously is a business move. You want to have a all-star, all-NBA level player to sell tickets and have the highest chance of winning. Still keep Evan Mobley. Trade Jared Allen, probably get a big that can stretch the floor a little bit, give some space to Evan Mobley or complement him better than a Jared Allen, and trade Darius Garland for some wings and another guard mate in the backcourt that fits Donovan Mitchell a little better. That's what I would do.
What about the Celtics?
What should they do? Trade Jason Tatum.
Oh my gosh, I'm home. Yeah, what did you see? Did you see dominance? Did you see like, okay, I'm very solid behind this team, or was it just It was another day in the office. They took care of responsibilities.
Another day in the office. Tatum getting bailed out by his teammates yet again. Not really impressed. Again, I'm not going to be impressed by anything the Celtics are doing until they play a team that's really getting at it. So next round, when they go, obviously because you bet on Reese, they're going to lose tonight. So when the Knicks win, Celtics versus Knicks, that'll be their first real challenge, and then I'll see what the Celtics are made of. But up until now, I mean, talking about them beating a Heat team with no Jimmy Butler, they beat a Cavs team with Donovan Mitchell and friends, and then Donovan Mitchell just quit. Then Donovan Mitchell just quit
the friends.
Series. Yeah, it was just the friends, and I'm supposed to be confident in this Celtics team.
All right, I want this on the record though. Hypothetically, if the Celtics do either sweep or beat the Knicks in 5, are y'all pulling the injury excuse? 3 y'all?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
I think the Knicks. Well, is OG playing? Hold on. I will say this.
No OG,
OG don't play.
No
If
OG,
OG
no
don't play,
Robinson
I would be
would
like,
be crazy. I think it'd be
If y'all-
obvious. Oh, go ahead, Dom. My fault.
I'm sorry. I just want to say, and be quick. If y'all sweep or beat them in 5 with no OG, I'm going to make an excuse. But if it goes 6 games with no OG, I'm like, all right, the Knicks are still a tough team. Y'all do that.
For me, the Knicks, even with these injuries, are significantly better than who you've played. However, am I gonna sit there and be obtuse just to make you smile? Fuck no. They don't have Mitchell Robinson and OG Anunoby. I'm not gonna be obtuse just to stop. Like they are significantly injured, but I still will say they are definitely a better team than the Cleveland Cavaliers right now, and obviously the Orlando Magic. So if you beat them, that will be more impressive than the other 2 rounds for sure.
They dominated.
You didn't say Julius Randle.
Yeah, but they missing like four potential starters on different teams. They missing Bogdanovic, Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson,
injury card is just a fact. It's not
Yeah.
even.
He's not a starter, but I give you that. He's a quality player. Yeah, a player can start on other teams. I feel that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Otherwise, I thank God the Knicks did not sell the farm for Donovan Mitchell. That's all I gotta say.
You just airball layup? My bad.
That's
Yeah,
all.
this man Jamal Murray.
That's all I gotta say.
Lakers big shot merchant.
These guys are Laker merchants, man. Oh my god.
I want to know, because we've been giving people a lot of flack for this. Did we count out our man Nikola Jokic a little too soon? I don't know if y'all saw that last game. I saw that last game. I sat in here. My God, he gave Rudy Gobert the biz naive. Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets win the last game, and they play right now to try to finish the series, right?
Denver's trying to finish the series.
Last game though, Nikola Jokic, 40 points, 13 assists, 2 steals, a block, 0 turnovers. I think that's like the first time that's happened in NBA history since, black and white. 68% from the field, 67% from 3. Some of the moves that he was giving not Jamal Murray, but Nikola Jokic was honestly disgusting. And there's been a lot of debate about what you can do to guard this and how to play it and all that. But I like to defer to the professionals and give it up for real.
Oh.
From my understanding, Draymond isn't even getting paid to do this. He is just up there. He was just
exposure.
He was in Atlanta with the suit on. I want to ask before we go into is this series over talks. The way that Nikola Jokic is playing, how do you stop this?
I don't know how you stop the greatest offensive player of all time. Maybe that's a discussion we need to have. Yeah.
It's as a guy who spent an hour today watching defensive film on 2 different great defensive bigs guard Jokic, and how teams around those bigs guard Jokic, it's a noticeable difference. And I'm speaking on AD versus Rudy. When AD was guarding Jokic, he dared him to shoot, and it was a lot more help from other guys. A lot more guys diving down, poking in, reaching in, slapping at the ball, making it tough for Jokic to try to work in the post. We had to settle for a lot of jumpers. Now, he was hitting a lot of bullshit, but you live with that. And he definitely had a noticeably different series against the Lakers than he is against the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves, man, this is looking like when Jimmy Butler had Drew Holiday on the island and was just working them, and everybody just sitting there like, hey, gang, you got to stop him. Like, hey, stop the nigga. Like, Rudy is getting – it's some possessions where it's just better off – good offense beats good defense. Like, it's just you live with it. You hit a tough shot. You did the most you could do. I counted it 10 to 12 times where it was just Rudy overbiting, overreacting to a move, just getting flat out beat. Just flat out beat. But there is no help. The way you guard a guy like Jokic is A, you get physical with him. You don't allow him to get comfortable and dictate where we're going in the post, and you need help. Oh my God, he just hit a 3 double team. I'm sorry. You need help. You have to have guys come off and help to get the ball out of his hands. He's a dominant player. And so say, hey, the greatest offensive player of all time, man. You need to have help. There is no playing him one-on-one and just thinking good things are going to happen, because it's not. He's going to bust your ass. And now we're seeing it from Rudy Gobert. I'm saying Ruby because ain't no D. There's no D. He might have 4 defense player of the years. Ain't none of the motherfuckers showing up right now to help stop Jokic.
For me, as the person that has dealt with nothing but pain and despair when it comes to guarding or trying to guard Nikola Jokic, one, Damo is right. You do need to be physical with him. Obviously, 2020 is what a lot of Laker fans will point to, but this is not the same guy. However, even this season and this series, we saw certain nights where Anthony Davis was doing a fantastic job on him. However, Damo also said as well he wasn't alone. For me, why these conversations are happening right now is because when I'm looking at Rudy Gobert, not only is he alone, but to add on a separate point, and I don't know how you guys are going to feel about this, but Rudy Gobert is a little too shifty for me. He's trying to like move a lot in the post, even while being back down, and it's kind of giving Jokic the option to kind of just pick and choose when he wants to put the ball up. Like he's trying to anticipate where Jokic is going to go, and you can't do that. You literally, if you're trying to anticipate where guys like Jokic, hell, fuck this greatest offensive player of all time talk, KD, Luka, Steph, you try to anticipate where they're going with the ball, they're going to fool you. You're going to get cooked one-on-one. That's why you need help most of the time, so you limit where they can go to increase your chance of said anticipation if you're going to play defense that way. But there was also a reason why a lot of people thought initially that Karl Anthony Towns would be the guy to be on Jokic, and that's a separate conversation because he was giving Cat the business too. But in general, I think the Timberwolves, and we're watching them right now, beat the shit out of them live on playback. But I think they just need to help more, to be honest. I know that sounds lazy, but I don't know if it's media. I don't know if it's belief in Rudy Gobert. I think their fucking eyes are on 4-time DPOY, and they're just letting them die out there, dog. And I don't care if he was a 10-time DPOY, dog. You're not guarding this nigga one-on-one for 48 minutes. You're not doing it.
Bezos, let me ask you this. What do we think the outcome of this series is? Because especially after the first 2 games, and we're watching this one live, so it's a little bit, but after watching the first 2 games, you know, it was real belt to acidry.
Yep.
For the next 3 games, though, Denver really, really brought it to them. Specifically, Nikola Jokic. What is this? This is game 3, 24, 14, 9, 3 steals, 3 blocks. They win the game, of course. The next game, which is game 4, he gives them 35, 7, 7, 3 steals, a block. And then again, this last game was the 40 point triple. Was it a triple double? 40-point trip dub or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or almost triple double. 13 assists, 7 boards, 2 steals, no turnovers. How do we see this going on? How do we see anybody stopping what's going on with Jokic?
I'm gonna keep it a stack. I think this does go. Well, looking at the score right now, I do think hopefully this goes to 7. But going to Denver, I just think Denver is. I'm gonna give the benefit of the doubt to the proven team. Not to say that Minnesota can't beat them on the road, because obviously they've proven that. But in Game 7, if I had to put money on it, I am betting the Denver Nuggets on that game. But to answer the question of how to stop Jokic, and honestly, to answer your question as well, honestly, as crazy as it sounds, I think Minnesota's game plan is the way. This is not the way you go about stopping Jokic, but this is the way you go about stopping the Nuggets, in my opinion. Because I think there's certain offensive weapons in history where it is so hard to guard them. Just let them cook. I think the most recent example for me is 2014 or 2018 LeBron. There's just so much, like, the coverage, like, there's not much you can do to stop a guy like that. But what you can do is stop a J.R. Smith. What you can do is try to contain a Chris Bosh. What you can do is try to contain a D. Wade. Again, all easier said than done, but I really think when I'm watching these games, the difference makers is when Aaron Gordon goes 90% from the field. The difference maker is when Jamal Murray is scoring 30 points out there and hitting crazy shots and getting open looks because you're overhelping on Jokic. So to me, to beat the Nuggets, I think the Timberwolves are doing what they need to do. You don't stop Jokic. You try to contain everyone else.
What about for like the Mavs, or the Mavs or the Thunder? Do we see a chance there? Do we see your Celtics have a chance there?
Yeah, I have full confidence in my team. Come on, dog. I don't know. I just think defensively, the Celtics specifically offers it will be the best offense they faced in the last 2 years, in my opinion. Pretty wide margin, and then the Mavs and the Thunder as well. Whoever comes out of there, up until that point, would be the best offense that the Nuggets would be facing up until that point. But yeah, I think this team is beatable. To be honest with you, we are in the parity age. This team is not unbeatable, even though they go on stretches where it feels like that. But nah, this is a good series.
We'll take a pair of these two fighting. One of your guys, Doc Rivers.
Oh, hold on real quick. Before we move on, I got to say something, man, because I've noticed something on Twitter. I've noticed something in chats, whatever. Dog, when we talk about this series, and obviously me and Damo, it's bitter Laker fans, we're going to talk our shit whenever they lose. I'm tired of Denver Nuggets fans or Denver Nuggets discourse acting like you're the underdog. Bro, not even remotely. Not even remotely. Breezos' point right now, watching them lose 22 points on playback for free, by the way. The idea that a lot of people will then run to the table and say that, oh yeah, man, y'all keep sleeping on Denver. Y'all keep acting like we're not this team. All that. Bro, nobody thinks that y'all not him. In fact, everybody thinks that you guys are the odds-on favorite in 99.9% of conversations. It's just something that I just randomly get off. I'm starting to see it a lot about this like victim Nuggets discourse. I think it's the nastiest shit possible.
Literally, the narrative right now is Celtics are cool, but if they face the Nuggets, good luck. Like, all right, dog.
But if they face the Nuggets, good luck. In Game 7, even though they're getting their ass kicked, I got the Nuggets. Luka, hey, you can't stop Luka, but you really can't stop Jokic. We got Bezos calling him the greatest offensive player of all time, and then simultaneously, a team will beat them once or twice, talk a little shit, and now they're the underdog. It's not how that works. Please stop, bro.
We'll get under this dog. I don't know. Sage cooked my
fault,
my
bro.
transition.
It'd be a double transition for another brand, but
Doc Rivers fires back at jumping Jehoshaphat because he's tired of his BS. W reload. Oh God. Mark, cut this out when they ask what the cut is. Oh God, my bad team.
Oh my God, we missed another case on Thought Daughter take, huh?
Your team under the bus. They lose to Memphis. Oh, it's his players. Memphis was playing G League guys and two-way guys. And then you look at his quotes over the weekend. Now he wants to take credit for the James Harden trade to the Clippers working out. He wants credit for that. There's never accountability with that guy. There's never accountability.
Well, JJ's had a problem with me for a while, and that's fine. Players do. One thing when you coach, Stephen A., you can be called a player's coach or whatever you want to be
his
called.
voice gotten better though.
But if you make decisions that the player doesn't agree with, in JJ's case, we didn't cite him back. With the Clippers, I stopped playing him as much because he wasn't very effective in the playoffs, and that's all known. But I'm fine with that. Like, usually they all come back to you. They do. Because they know everything you tried to teach them or do for them was in good. JJ Redick's best numbers of his career was under one coach, and you're looking at him right here.
Wow.
I'm the one that grabbed him out of Milwaukee and decided to start him. From that point on, his career took off. All the movement plays, everything. First play of the game, every game. When we played with the Clippers, you would have coaches and teams come up to you and say, "You're not going to score on that first play with JJ." And I would always say, "Just watch us. We're going to figure it out." So overall, nothing but love for JJ. Obviously, there's things he doesn't like, and I have no issues with him.
I respect it.
I'm not usually on Doc Rivers' side, but y'all know I am pro Doc Rivers podcast. Now, JJ's 2 best scoring seasons, as fact checked by the Twitter comments, were on Philadelphia. We just want to put that out there. But some of his better seasons of his entire career were indeed on the Clippers. I mean,
people do say his career took off once he got to the Clippers. Like,
yeah.
So.
He also just straight up reached his prime. He was 28.
Yeah. I'm about to say that, act like by the time at the end of his career in Orlando, he wasn't a 15-point per game guy. Like, it was already starting to show like he was capable of being the guy that he was on the Clippers. Is just a nasty propaganda push. Like, yeah, I'm the reason why. Like, no, he started to show it before he even got to Milwaukee. You just happened to get him out of Milwaukee, I guess.
There is some hate between players and coaches, though. I wish we could set some of these guys down on podcasts and really just, hey, let's hash it all out. No holds barred. Yeah, just get everything red table talk.
Let's go to LA. Let's set up.
Facts. Let's do it. JJ, Doc, Austin.
Now, why would they do that with y'all? Yeah, who are y'all?
Over TNT? They would much rather talk to Chuck. I'm like, all right. Fuck us.
We respect you guys to those guys. Yeah.
Hey, man, watch you guys forever. Love you. Y'all are no Ernie. Like, all right.
Love you guys. Yeah, that was great. Love you guys. Not you guys. Boy, oh boy. Hate
Can
you
I also just say, I don't know what the fuck is going on with Shannon's lip. I don't like how his soul patch looks painted on. I don't know. It rubbed me the wrong way when that clip is going. I'm sorry.
He uses that strawberry mint conditioning well.
On his lip? The bottom lip?
This is you hate. Because of where we are in the playoffs, I just wanted to do some recapping of some of the offseason moves, maybe not necessarily from this year. Well, what happened?
Nah, Mike Conley was about to hit some crazy step back three. Go ahead.
He almost got a clip. He almost got clipped, man. He almost got a clip off.
I wanna look back at some of the trades, not necessarily from this offseason, but just from the recent years, recent offseason, recent during seasons, to see how they have affected these teams, whether it be positively, negatively, and potentially give them a regrade now that we've seen, probably some of the aftermaths of the situation. We're going to start off with Big Truck, Rudy Gobert, to the Timberwolves. Jazz received the 3 first-round unprotecteds, top 5 protected in 2029, Michael Beasley, Patrick Beverley, Walker Kessler, Jared Vanderbilt, and some other dude. Based off of what we're seeing, what is the now regrade of that trade?
The Rudy Gobert trade?
The Rudy Gobert trade.
A+.
Okay.
I think that's a trade that, bro. I think Minnesota is one of those teams that's been a laughing stock, similar to the Kings. All these conversations we've had with the Knicks, they just want to be relevant for X amount of years, and I think this trade specifically has made them championship contenders in a matter of 2 seasons. I don't think they'd be where they at without Rudy Gobert. So, A+.
I'll give it a B+, A- at best.
Yeah, went just for before Sage goes, 42-40 last year, lost in the first round to the Nuggets 4-1. Now they are 56-26, third in the West, and they are about to lose in the second round to the Nuggets, potentially. So, Sage, you got a regrade?
I didn't necessarily hate the idea of it at the time. I always think that at some point teams can overpay for things to better fit them long term. With hindsight, with the powers of hindsight, I'd go to like a B plus. I don't think it's like a home run hit. Obviously, it's still a significant overpay, but it's definitely worked out for them. It's definitely not a bad trade. I just don't think. I think for me to call a trade a A plus or whatever, it has to, if we're especially with the power of hindsight, it has to directly lead to a championship, what's possible, or it was just shit. You still won that trade via like scammer get scam buddy type shit. So, and I don't think the second part of that applies.
Definitely about to get worse because I think that might be the highest ranked trade. Next one, Paul George for SGA, Danilo, and all the picks in the world.
That's obviously a trade that's aging like milk. I don't know if I want to go F, but I'll go D. The reason I'm not going F is because Paul George has been there consistently for you. Kawhi Leonard, if anything, has been the reason as to why your team couldn't have potentially gone as far as it's supposed to go. However, because of Kawhi Leonard not being there, health being an issue and all of those things, it'd be pretty fucking nice to have a young guy like SGA on that team right now. So it's especially knowing that SGA and Kawhi Leonard would just fit together. So yeah, it's just tough.
I say for me personally, I feel like I still feel like it's a win-win trade. I would say it's a B plus for the Clippers, definitely an A for the Thunder for how things are looking in hindsight.
Yeah, I think there wasn't really anything wrong with the trade. Like Sage said, Kawhi's the problem. That's the guy that's not consistently showing up. I think in terms of the direction they wanted to go in, that was a trade that you make. So it's one of those things that it definitely would have been justified with a championship, but it's just there's no championship. So I'm gonna give it a B. I'm gonna give it a B minus.
Yeah, it depends how you view it. Obviously, I'm just of the mindset that like because Kawhi isn't there, and majority of the reason the trade didn't work out is because of him. I'm thinking of what if you had SGA instead of Paul George? Do you win instead of Paul George? Do you win a championship? Probably not, but you're not scared to say, you know what, Kawhi, get out of here. So that's why I'm still harsh on the trade. But that's with the power of hindsight. In terms of assets, it's fine.
Just for me, real quick, from a business perspective, probably just an A plus. Like even for both sides, Thunder became good, MVP caliber player. SGA, Clippers were going through this real deal transformation, and they were trying to take it much, much, much more seriously under the Steve Ballmer regime. New stadium, got all the LA boys there together. Don't know what it's going to shake up before they get into the new stadium, but I think it ended up well. From a basketball perspective, come on, gang, let's build real teams. We're not doing that. We're done with the super teams. We done with the super teams. That's my cold take of the week. We done with the super team. Let's build real teams.
I had the hot take about 2 weeks ago saying the definition of super teams needs to change.
Next one, Kings. Domantas Sabonis, Jeremy Lamb, Justin Holiday, 2027 second round pick. They got all that from the Pacers, who got in return Tyrese Halliburton, Buddy Hield, and Tristan Thompson.
Another win-win trade. A's both ways.
Retweet.
Yeah, pretty boring segment here. Maybe I'll go B plus versus A.
Dude, what's going on?
Yeah, I don't know about A's both ways, but definitely B plus regardless. Maybe if I had to pick a victor, the Pacers. I think not only is it too soon to call someone an objective loser, but even if that's not the case, both teams are in similar positions. Both teams are more relevant than they were in the past. Yeah, I'd say.
I guess Kings. Yeah, that grade is sliding every single year. Every single year.
They're just a tougher conference. That's my only.
We had this conversation a couple of months ago, and you specifically said the trade was fine. Yeah,
I'm off that bandwagon. I've been watching some Legend of Winning videos. I'm off that. I'm off that one.
He didn't say anything you do. Oh my god! All right.
I'd be harsher on the Kings, but they still won 46 games. We're talking about a conference that 46 and 36 was a 10 seed. I can't hate that, but so much. The Pacers won a literal extra game on them.
Okay, cool. Let's go to one that I think we'll have a lot of static about. Maybe we'll have some disagreements. The Donovan Mitchell Cavaliers trade, where Donovan Mitchell went to the Cavaliers, and then Colin Sexton, Lauri Markkanen, Ochi, none of the rest of the stuff really matters, went to the Utah Jazz. I'm giving this a B plus, as close to an A as possible if I'm going by Sage's criteria, but an A plus for the Jazz. They look pretty good for the future as far as rebuilding goes. They clean the books pretty well, and Lauri Markkanen has shown himself to be pretty good. Now they got to make a decision on him pretty doggone fast, but I'm really loving that. For the Cavs, after what we talked about earlier in this podcast, straight up G minus.
G minus. Damn.
G minus. G minus.
I would say for the Jazz, definitely is a B. I'd say it's a B trade. I would say for the Cavs, because I don't agree with the decision, I'm going C plus.
For me, the Jazz, I'm going B minus. I don't think that this is something too crazy of a haul necessarily that they got, but it's pretty good. In terms of Donovan Mitchell to the Cleveland, I'd say C plus, only with the power of hindsight, knowing that Evan Mobley wasn't ready to take the next step. Darius Garland not only would seemingly regress, but let alone just was never going to be a fit with Donovan Mitchell. They didn't do a good job building around him. So when you make a trade like this, when you make an all-in type of trade, I want to see the remaining roster go all in, and it kind of felt like they just signed Jared Allen, traded for Donovan Mitchell, and said, bet, let's ball, and that was a fumble.
Yeah, the Jazz, B plus, and then for the Cavs, I think what they tried to pull off was like what the Heat did with Jimmy Butler, bringing him on with Bam and Tyler Hero, but it just did not work out. On top of like his help also being injured, I didn't like the move in the first place. I didn't think if they were, because Donovan Mitchell wanted to get traded to go to a better winning situation, to win a championship specifically, and a backcourt of Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland defensively was just never going to win anything. So.
And I want to know. Let me also say this. I got them at a G minus right now. If he tainted the locker room in any sort of way, it's going lower. If it doesn't work out, it's going lower. I'm gonna attribute it square to Donovan Mitchell being on this team. If they don't develop properly, if Evan Mobley starts to get antsy, if Darius Garland starts to get antsy and wants to get out, Jared Allen too, I'm blaming it squarely on Donovan Mitchell, and that G minus will go down straight up. That's just the way it is. Last one. This is not necessarily a trade, but just some acquisitions, and it's not even necessarily direct, but it's close enough, so we'll tie it in. The Mavericks losing Porzingis, him taking a stop somewhere else, and the Boston Celtics picking up Porzingis. How are we grading that?
Say it again. You said Porzingis and who?
Yeah, the Mavericks losing Porzingis. We didn't even get it from the Mavs, right?
No. I know.
Okay.
Took some stops.
Yeah, he's saying that Dallas Mavericks moving on, and you guys, Dallas moving on. Addition by subtraction. I think they major addition by subtraction. They were able to build a deeper roster. Not only a deeper roster, but a roster that's more necessary for Luka Doncic. KP's obviously tall. I know my 2K heads are going to think it, but he wasn't a lob threat. He wasn't a guy that was one of these athletic freaks of nature. They need to go out there, be somewhat switchable, and then block shots. Well, he can block shots, but I wouldn't call him a switchable defender. So I think addition by subtraction, he just wasn't the right guy for them. Boston, if he was healthy, would be a slam dunk. It's just unfortunate that he's injured right now. But other than that, it's a win-win.
I think Luka and Porzingis work. It's just Luka as a 2 next to Porzingis, that doesn't work. Because ideally, like even right now, if Porzingis, you start him into PJ Washington's role, be a pick and pop threat, corner 3, lob threat, can play the dunker. That Porzingis does that, and he protects the rim. But just as a 2, that wasn't gonna work. I don't think they regret trading Porzingis, even in hindsight. And then for the Celtics, I'm gonna give that one a B plus. That's gonna turn into an A plus, depending on how the finals roll out. It's just disappointing that we got him specifically for the playoffs, and he's only played like 4 games. Maybe even 2. I don't know. He just hasn't played that much in the playoffs, which is why we got him. But yeah, I do think he's the difference maker from the biggest change from last year to this season as to why this team is built different. So, great move for the Celtics.
I mean, A plus because Porzingis sucked in Dallas. He just didn't work next to Luka. Don't know if it's a race thing, but yeah, he just didn't work. And then I would say him getting picked up in Boston. It's an A move. I like him on Boston, like the fit. A team being led by 2-2s, picking up another 2 is always a good idea.
Porzingis was jealous. That's all I gotta say.
Oh wow.
So and admitted it. No, I'm not saying nothing that's crazy. He was jealous of Luka Doncic. He made the situation a little worse than it could be. Nothing else more to say there. Before we get out of here, Damo, you weren't here for it. Give us your quick 2-minute draft recap, draft lottery recap / predictions and prospect breakdown. We'll get into this a little bit deeper at a different time.
All in 2 minutes.
All in 2 minutes. Well, draft lottery, balls bounced in a kind of different way than I expected them to bounce. I like the fact that Atlanta got the number 1 pick. They probably going to get a nice little gem in Alex Sarr. This draft is probably one of the most unpredictable drafts we've had in a long time. Literally, from my opinion, 3 throughout the rest of the first round. Anybody could really go anywhere. This is going to be one of the first times a lot of teams can genuinely draft based off of fit and need on a draft immediately. There is no real, just take the best talent available, because the gaps in talent, in the talent available, genuinely is not there enough at certain positions where you can just take a fit pick. So for me, I like it. If you want me to run out a couple of prospects, one, Bronny had a good little draft combine day, displayed a lot of his pro skills, like things he actually is able to do. Don't see him going anywhere above 25, but there are teams below that 25 range that are showing interest in him, and I give him a nice little chance. I think he's going to have a better pro career than the college career. He's a better pro player than he is a college player. Another guy, Khalil Ware, with that 17th pick, big man, runs the floor, plays vertical, actually shoot. Definitely something we need. Cool. Let me think. I think the Memphis Grizzlies definitely should take. I think the Wizards will wizard because they are in limbo. I think the Rockets should trade that 3rd pick. There's no reason, in my opinion. I think you could trade down. I think the Bulls should trade out. If they're trying to find a player that can help them win right now, you might as well trade for an actual vet. Don't get a don't get a rookie. Just go get a veteran player. Trade out the draft. Let some teams that actually need a player to get a player. The Charlotte Hornets definitely might draft Stephen Castle. The Spurs.
2 minutes. Now, the only question that you did not address.
Brownie.
Will the Wizards wizard harder, or will the Hawks hawk harder?
The Wizards will wizard harder.
Okay. Now, no, we haven't seen anybody from the Wizards looking at Ricochet. Just want to put that out there. So,
I mean, my thing is, when you look at their team, they have young players at every position but big. So my thought process is they're going to wizard, and they might fuck around and take Donovan too, which would be insane for this draft. Which would be insane for this draft if they took Donovan too.
You went to UConn? Two chips? You shut down Zach Edey?
A winner.
Yeah. I think the Wizards will wizard harder than the Hawks will hawk. I think the Hawks are just. I don't think they want to give up Trae Young. Now, I will say, if the Hawks don't take Sarr, they're trading Trae Young. I definitely believe that. If they take anybody but Sarr, I know they're trading Trae Young.
Yo, if they Donovan clinging on is crazy. Clinging in there. And let me get it in real quick before we get up out of here, because we said we would talk about some women. A lot of WNBA debuts this past week. The one specifically that people wanted to see was Caitlin Clark. 2.11 million views. The WNBA has advanced like so fast since the draft.
I seen Kim K in the locker room too. Like, damn.
Charged in front of our eyes.
Skims. They had one marketing person. Now they got 25. Hey man,
it's almost like
that's Ocean right there.
I was say it's almost like everything niggas said wouldn't happen for the next 5 years happened in 2 months. Crazy.
Niggas was like, you know what? Let's put money into it.
Why not?
But are they getting any profit and income?
Are they profiting?
Yeah, I'm ready for that debate.
If they're not profiting, then they must be going Negative. It must not be.
Subsidizing from the NBA. I'm so ready for that debate with these niggas. Anyway, Caitlin Clark debuted. She played pretty bad both games. But 2-week training camp, she'll turn it around. A lot of these people need more than 2 weeks. They need to restructure some of these seasons. Don't know how, but thinking about it, she's not stopped playing basketball probably since like last summer. She went from the tournament championship game to USA basketball to the season, the WNBA season, and all like a span of a month.
Damn.
Right. So
that was the score today.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? Oh yeah, the score for the game
102-66. God damn.
But it also reminds you that Indiana did pick first. They turned her into a passer. They turned her literally into a passer. I think she's not used to passing the ball and then the ball going away from her and not getting back. She's used to people catching passes, just a different type of offense. So she's looking for stuff that won't be there. They be throwing the ball to the center and that motherfucker gonna shoot it.
She did play 4 years at one system, right?
Yeah. Leading scorer in all of college. So just give us some time, man. They were asked for one reason, that either that coach is going to get fired or they're going to come around and be like, you know what? We were asked playing this type of ball last year. Let's shake it up. I don't know. I know that's a crazy thing to say.
Two things. Isn't Cardoza hurt right now?
She is. She got a shoulder injury.
Mm-hmm. And how is Angel Reese looking in general? Like, how was her pro debut? Is she's looking like? Is the transition like smoother for her?
There needs to be a longer training camp. It's cool. It's cool. There needs to be a longer training camp. Cameron Brink looked good though. I ain't gonna lie. She looked like she's 6'11" and just affecting shots like fucking crazy. No, not necessarily all the blocks in the world, but just people are afraid to shoot on her. So, but yeah, they just need a longer training camp. Just think if you, like B-Soul just said, think if you played one way for 4 years, you played heliocentric basketball one way for 4 straight years, and then in a month's time, meeting new people with all the other stuff going on, really like 2 weeks' time, you had to learn a whole new system and play a whole different way.
Oh yeah, I know what that's like.
It's not like Damian Lillard.
I mean, I've been in Brandwich for 4 years, then had to go corporate in a matter of days.
Yeah. I don't know.
2 of 8 though. She could be better. Now let me chill.
Oh.
It's that should be happening so fast. Nika Mule can't even play B-Souls.
Oh yeah, I know. Don't worry.
She doesn't have the proper visa.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
I don't even know. I wonder how you do it. Oh, I guess it's a work visa for the overseas players in the NBA, and they got time to get it. I don't know. Sign that paperwork, Biden. I don't know. With that being said, though,
He's on fire!
Come on, JB.
We have did another episode of Let's Keep It a Buck podcast, presented by PrizePicks. I'm gonna go teabag my eye, but before I do, Sage, say goodbye to the people.
All right, people, if you're watching this back and I'm just staring off into the sun or looking down or anything like that, I'm gonna be honest. I'm just trying not to die on camera. But hey, look, I'm gonna see you niggas later. Stream probably on Saturday at this point. We did launch the Sage and Souls lock, and we're on attempt to. Let's just say
Didn't think it was that dramatic, man. God.
Grass gym, huh? Shit's crazy, man. Shit was wicked,
It's
man.
your fault, bro. It's your fault.
Nobody that was there thinks it's my fault. Caleb. Take care, stay blessed. I'll see y'all next time. Follow me on Twitch at TS_Sage. If you want to see the Sage and Souls lock, literally just whenever we're fucking live, I guess.
Okay. Damo, say goodbye to the people.
Oh man, all right, Chaz being my favorite midnight snack, and we'll be back. I know it's been a cool little hiatus on the streams. Got a lot of shit in development that I really want to work on and be like passionate about when I'm streaming. And one of them is introducing y'all to Team OTF, my pro-am team. We're going live. The OTF team will be making its debut real soon. Keep the notifications on. Y'all are about to witness some of the best comp runs you've seen in a minute. And we'll be finishing Fallout. Don't think the Fallout is done. I'm definitely loving Fallout. Might even start streaming New Vegas because I've been enjoying that game. I've been playing it on the side. So, yeah, Fallout will be played as well.
Bye.
Oh, last little interruption. If you're still recording, last little interruption. Members, comment below or tag me on Twitter if you guys want Baldur's Gate or to revamp the Steelers thing. Because I did episode 3, and then while I was about to send it in the little folder, I was like, we just had a draft. Like, what the fuck am I doing? So I low-key was like, this file's kind of ass. So y'all let me know if y'all want to see a Baldur's Gate playthrough, because I finally beaten the fucking game myself. Or if you guys want me to just redo the Steelers rebuild, but with rookies and shit. All right, y'all.